epidemiologist. He's actually an epidemiologist at the University of Ottawa, also an associate professor. Raywat Deonandan, good afternoon to you, and thanks for joining us.
Good evening.
We're seeing a stabilization, if you will, in terms of the number of cases in Manitoba, in and around, just under that 300 point. How can we now get to, now that we've got it stable, how can we get it to the next level, which is in that downward trajectory?
Well, that's a really big question, and it has always had the same answer. The answer is you minimize your individual number of contacts on a daily and a weekly basis. It's as simple as that. That's hard for some people who are frontline or essential workers, who are cashiers and teachers, etc., who are exposed to numbers of people. It's hard. But for the rest of us, we can make that choice individually and not to go to gatherings, to keep our distance, to wear our masks, to have proper ventilation if we do meet people. So ultimately, this is always in the hands of individuals to contain this.
So is it because we're still not following the orders, or is it because it is so pervasive in our community that we still have what I would consider to be high numbers in the hundreds every day?
It's a number of factors. It's not just one, but what can we control? The disease is here. The transmission is deep. That we accept. So what can we do? What levers do we have to bring it down? Yes, we can impose more economic restrictions, but all those are disincentives for interaction. It comes down to how fewer interactions can we have per day. It's not rocket science, unfortunately. So the key towards minimizing the spread of a respiratory virus is not to be near other people.
So how long does this last?
Oh boy, that's a big question. It's like slamming on the brakes of an enormous truck. It doesn't stop immediately. It takes a while to slow down. The momentum of the huge number of cases will take days, if not weeks, to slow down. The magic number has always been 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks from the point of one intervention to see if it actually manifests in the caseload. But we are entering the holidays. That's when people are going to actually increase their exposures, even though they probably shouldn't. And I understand why. It's hard not to. So I anticipate we're going to be in this well into the middle of January, the rough days.
And I think people need to take some glimmer of hope from the fact that the numbers have stabilized from like 400 and 500 down to this, sub 3. But I think the biggest factor here could simply be just time and, again, following those rules.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I don't want to make it seem like the things that we've done have not paid fruit. Of course they've borne fruit. I want to have people remember, though, that things like the hospitalization rate and the death rate are lagging indicators. So while the case numbers have come down, in general, it's 1 to 4 weeks later before we see the hospitalization and death rates come down. It takes that long. So don't be alarmed if, even though the cases are coming down, the hospitalizations are still going up. That's expected. Just got to hang in there and have faith that you're doing the right thing.
Raywat Deonandan, University of Ottawa epidemiologist, as always. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.